Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, what's happening? It is Friday, which means it is Fitness Friday with me, Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I am your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercising for more than 30 minutes at a time. And when I come to you on Fitness Friday, I like to bring you tips that I know are going to be helpful for you and especially the Black and Brown community as a whole, because y'all, we just absolutely have to do better. There's no way around that. So today I'm excited because I'm not here by myself. I have a very, very, very special guest that I'm super excited to have with me. And before we get there, let me know, because I see y'all coming in, say hey. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you happen to catch this on replay, type replay in the chat. So, who is with me today? I got this little cutie right here. I got Dr. K, Dr. Karleena Tuggle-McDaniel. She is a beautiful bariatric surgeon. That's why I just told her, I said, you the cutest doggone doctor I done seen. I'm just saying. But she is also my co-host for something amazing that I want to bring to y'all today. We have created a show, a podcast recording called Too Fine to Die. So y'all welcome my co-host, Dr. K. Hey, Dr. K.
Hi, everybody.
Tell me more about you and how you got into what you're doing before we jump into talking more about Too Fine to Die.
Definitely. I am, as Crystal said, a bariatric surgeon, and a bariatric surgeon is a weight loss surgeon, not to be confused with a plastic surgeon who can make you lose weight by liposuction or taking off excess skin. I do gastric sleeves, gastric bypass. I used to do bands, but more metabolic procedures for addressing conditions associated with obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, high cholesterol. I got into it kind of as a fluke because I hated everything else. And it was like the one thing that you could really see a difference. Like cancer surgery, you can like change people's lives, but cancer surgery is very morbid. Weight loss surgery is not morbid. Most people the mortality rate is very low. But for people who get the surgery and they follow the program, and the program is really no different essentially than every day following certain healthy habits. There's nothing magical about it. This is not a magic bullet. You still have to change if you want to keep the weight off. But for those who did that, their lives, it was like having a new birthday or being reborn. They were able to get their life back and often live it on their terms, which is, I think, what our goal is for everybody, which is why we created the show. So, like, for example, I came in today and there was a note left for me that a patient I had done probably almost 3 years ago. He was 475 pounds at his highest, but he left me a picture of himself. He's currently down to 224. He has 4 pounds to go and he is doing amazing. And that made my day. And he was
Yes.
like, Doc, and I was like, you could thank me for like a couple months, but the fact that you've kept this weight off for 3,
Yes.
because I've seen people regain some to all their weight plus some if they don't do their part. So I was
Yeah.
like, I have to be thankful to you. Like you're doing the work and I'm proud of you. So that's kind of like what zhuzhes me because, it's like you're off your medications. You're able to do things you weren't able to do before, like travel, feel more confident in yourself. So that's how bariatrics kind of got me hooked because I feel like for those who use it appropriately, you get to elevate your life to where
Yeah.
you want it to be on your terms if you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it is an opportunity to really make the best out of it while you're here.
Love it. That's dope. I didn't know all of that. Like I knew some of your story, but that's pretty dope. And y'all, if y'all have ever considered surgery, let us know in the chat. If you've done it, let us know in the chat. But as you see, the title of this is You Are Too Fine. So let's talk about Too Fine to Die. So Doc and I actually met her husband first. And some of you, if you've been rocking with Fanac for a while, you may have seen her husband before so they're co-owners of Pro Black Health, supplements, which are delicious and they nutritious, delicious and nutritious. But they sponsored a challenge that I did maybe like 2 years ago. It's been a while. And so her husband's name is Darren, and Darren and I are talking, and he's like, "You should meet my wife. My wife, y'all talk the same thing. Y'all got the same ideas, same thoughts." And I was like, okay, cool. So we finally got a chance to meet in December of 22. And it was just like instantly, it was like going back and forth, like, girl, why don't they know this? Girl, it ain't that hard. Girl, like, so we realized that we had the same thought process on how badly we want to help people get healthier. Like, real deal. That's the whole goal. So we kept saying we should do like a show. We can talk about it and just create something where we just put it out there ourselves, because what we know is that it's not talked about specifically for us frequently at all, right? So we've been playing around with the idea, and then last summer we ran into each other again and we said, girl, stop playing, let's do it. And we recorded last July. So it's Too Fine to Die. The inaugural episode is coming out this Sunday, May 5th, y'all.
Mayo.
Look, at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're premiering it on YouTube, but let's give them some background on why you thought this show was important to do and what you want the people to get from it.
Okay. I think in general, like you mentioned, the show outside of what it's called, but we wanted to bring helpful, accurate health information that is not talked about in our community in a safe space, in at a language level that anyone can relate to. So, this isn't mini med school. This isn't trying to talk above you or beneath you, but it's to have this conversation like we're all friends. And we think this information that is never talked about is vital to know, because you don't know what you don't know. And you can't address what you don't know to measure, to track. So really, health awareness is both of our missions in both of our businesses. And so we wanted to be able to translate that in a very consumable way that was friendly. When the name came up, which came from you, Too Fine to Die, and she can tell you that one, like I was hooked, I was smitten immediately.
She was stuck.
Oh, that's it. Because it says so much about how I feel. I want everyone to have that kind of self-love and self-respect, to have that feeling of I'm too fine to die. I'm too fine, I'm too precious, I'm too beautiful, I'm too whatever to not be here anymore. So if you value yourself and you have self-love, then there are things you may need to do to not die as fast as you could be dying. And it was something in those 4 little words that was like, it's a mindset, it's a feeling, it's a mantra. Like when you look in the mirror, you be like, damn, bitch, that's me. Like that's,
right.
You should feel that way, not just about how you look at this second, but how you see the rest of your life being, whether it be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like how do you want to look and feel when you're 65? Not just today. But that takes ownership. And that takes daily intentional decisions and choices and patterns that are not hard, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to do, because consistency is 95% of people's problems. Anybody can do something for a week or two, maybe a month, and then you get tired, bored, frustrated, and we start backsliding, like the people sitting in the back of the church in the back pew. Hallelujah.
Right.
You gotta, come back into the fold, get some oil, but we're trying to stay consistent. That's what we're preaching. Consistency is the key, not a fad, not something to do for a couple days. The rest of your life is what we're preaching.
Yeah, and you know, when you talk about, you said 95% is probably more than that. It probably is. But also one thing that, and I've talked about this a lot of times, and I'm sure you talk about this with your patients, we have to stop expecting things to happen quickly. We are such a microwave society that we don't look at it as, okay, what changes am I making in my life overall? People will say, I'm gonna make these changes so I can look good in this swimsuit. I'm gonna make these changes so I can look good in this wedding dress or whatever, but not just saying, I'm making these changes because I want to see my great grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it going to benefit me in the long run as opposed to just thinking about like right now, for
Exactly.
real? And so it's just one thing I love about the show, y'all. It's two girlfriends who just happen to be in the wellness industry having real conversations. We barefoot, we drinking wine. But like Doc said, it's really about making the information relatable. How many of y'all have ever felt like you went to the doctor and your doctor, you were like, I don't know what you're talking about, Doc, or you didn't even feel comfortable enough to ask the questions that you really had that were burning and that were pressing? If that's you, drop that in. But that's what we wanted to address, a lot of the topics and the concerns that our community, and real talk, we're talking to the whole Black community and Black and brown community. But I would say that, you know, I'm gonna say it. We talking a lot to the ladies because the ladies, we actually, man, I love y'all. Y'all know that, but y'all don't be listening. Y'all ain't the one scheduling the doctor's appointments. It's gonna be your woman who be like, "Baby, I scheduled your doctor's appointment." You know what I'm saying? So, doc, am I lying? Am I lying? You know I ain't lying. I'm just saying.
Darian's dentist appointment this morning, and
I
he
have
went.
it on my list to schedule Freddie's doctor's and dentist appointment. So, and my kids. You know what I'm saying? So we are really reaching to reaching out to these ladies to give you all a safe space to realize that a lot of stuff that y'all going through with all the things with your body, whether it's the mental health, trying to get back healthy, not sure what medical screenings you actually need, all of that stuff, giving you a safe space to get those answers. Because we talked about the PAPs, like how they keep changing these standards, you know, just all the things throughout the 5 episodes. So yeah, so Doc, what out of the 5 that we did, what was your favorite?
They're all my favorites, but I
Can't
think
all be your favorites. Everybody ain't no winner. Everybody don't get a trophy.
no, it's like your kids. Even though that's how I know parents be lying because they're like, I don't have a favorite kid. Yes, y'all do. Y'all just can't say it. Well, you proved me correct. Anyway, if I had to pick one, I would say the episode about self-love versus body positivity.
Yeah.
Because, that is, we are constantly in the epicenter of the tug of war of aesthetics and what looks good, what society says looks good,
Mm-hmm.
what our family says looks good, what the videos say you should look like versus
Mm-hmm.
are those looks healthy for you internally?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, self-love is caring about not just the outside, but if you find the outside, but your cholesterol is high and your arteries are clogged and your blood pressure is going to stroke you out, your blood sugar is so high that you go get a pedicure, next thing you know, you need an amputation. Is
Oh,
that really self-love? Because you're
yeah.
not doing the things to keep your body whole, preserved, and running at optimal health.
Right.
So you can love the skin you in, that's body positivity, but
Right.
you get to a point where your health is being compromised. Do you love those curves more than you love your life?
Yeah. That's real. That's real. And that's why I said I love that we talked about that and we just had to put it out there. And let's talk about the differences. Because I'm all for self-love. I'm
Mhm,
all for body positivity. However, and we talked about this, I do think that sometimes body positivity is a cover for people to just not make any changes,
mhm,
like real talk, you
mhm.
know. So it was That was a good one. And so y'all, I just dropped the link in the chat for y'all. If you didn't see it in the description, the way the episodes are running, they're going to be on the Too Fine to Die YouTube page. So make sure that you don't miss any of these episodes. Like I said, our first episode is releasing this Sunday. And go to bit.ly/Too Fine to Die to make sure you subscribe to the page, to the YouTube page. But then also under each episode, you'll see that there's a button that says notify me. So you can click on that. So each time that they are released, you'll get that notification. And Sunday, we're doing something special. We're actually doing a watch party where we're all going to log in and watch together at 6 o'clock Central. But then we're also inviting y'all to a special after party where we're going to jump over on Zoom so that you all can ask those questions that you may have, give feedback and all the good stuff. Hey, Miss Dion. Okay. Miss Dion said, I'm at work, but not working right now. Look, they say, are you working hard or hardly working? I'm just glad you're here, Miss Dion. And make sure y'all share it out. Y'all, we gotta help as many folks as possible. So I'm gonna give y'all a rundown of the titles. Y'all wanna know everything we're talking about? So with Dr. K talked about self-love versus body positivity. We're talking about that in episode 1. We knocking that going straight for the jugular. Episode 2, we are focusing on, it's called sweat equity. So it's how you create a positive relationship with exercise and moving your body. Then in episode 3, I don't know if this is my favorite one. I think I just enjoy talking about it a lot. Episode 3, we're talking about mental health because it's so stigmatized in our community. Episode 4, Dr. K is she taking the lead, taking center stage, and she's going to talk about the health care screens that we should get, why we should get them, stop running from them, and then we're going to finish out. I love a good mindset conversation. So episode 5, we're talking about how you can find your inner drive to keep on going. Because as Doc said, even with her patients and with my clients too, it's exciting in the beginning. Rah, rah, rah. I'm going to do it all. And then after a few weeks, it's like, sign up for. So how do we keep on going? Okay, Miss Dion, get the babies to the cafeteria. And I'm curious to see what them kids eating in the cafeteria, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day that maybe we should bring into season 2, because we have plans for the next season. So what else you got for Doc? So, wait a minute. I did have a question. All right. So with those 5, we talked about, which one do you think will be the most impactful?
I think it's a tie between our individual favorites. I think body positivity, self-love, and the mental health. Because I think the mental health is becoming more of a discussion.
Yeah.
But it's still very stigmatized because in our community, when you say, oh, I have to go to a therapist, or I need a therapist, or girl, you need therapy, it implies crazy, and crazy has a very negative undertone.
Yeah.
And I'll say I'm crazy, but I'm not dangerous. So
that was my favorite line.
I'm crazy. Yes, I am wired very differently. I'm having people in the in the neck.
Right.
And I think more people are neurodivergent than we realize.
Say that again. Say that term.
Neurodivergent.
Y'all hear that? Neurodivergent. I love that.
Differently. I mean, it's associated with like autism and being on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm somewhere on the spectrum, but I feel like most people are somewhere on the spectrum. We just don't really understand it. But people are wired differently. Their thoughts, their triggers, their memory, their history. But we associate, if you got to get to the point where you got to talk to somebody about it, or you need to be put on a medication to control it. Oh, people think of padded walls and like straitjackets.
Right.
It's not that. Sometimes you just need an unbiased individual to voice your concern, because everyone around you you did not have that freedom to say exactly how you feel for
Mm,
whatever reason. Fear of abandonment, fear of judgment.
mm,
Um, you're holding all these feelings in,
mm-hmm.
don't know what to do with them, and they start to feed on yourself. So it's like you're cannibalizing your body eventually sometimes with horrible depression, horrible anxiety. And sometimes you just need to be like a teapot and let it steep. And
Yep.
maybe this is the person who doesn't know you, doesn't know your friends, that you
Mm,
can do whatever you want, and their job is to listen to you and to give you feedback about what you are saying. You can
mm-hmm.
take it, but some people just need to vent,
Yep.
and honestly vent, because I know there is maybe only one person. No, I can't even say that. There's no one in my life that I can tell every little thing to,
Yeah.
because even your most loved ones tap dance on your last nerve sometime.
That
And
part.
I can tell them that, but sometimes you just want to vent that, and there's nobody that you feel safe doing that comfortably with. And
Mm-hmm.
it make a difference, because sometimes it'll one make you feel validated to feel how you feel,
Yep.
or it may say, you know what, that's not really what it is. Let's look at it this way.
Mm,
Or maybe this is how you should approach it next time. But there's
yeah.
there's so many things to get out of it. So I think we need to continue to open the door to that space of making it not a big deal. It's self-care. You go to the dentist, if you go to any other, if you get your cooter checked, you need to
Say
get your
it.
mind checked.
Say
Mind needs
it.
to be checked.
Say it. I look. I've been talking about my therapy for I think 8 years now. And I've
Mhm.
said that all the time. It's amazing how people will frown at getting a therapist, but you so proud of your doggone mechanic. Are you serious? For your car. For your car. But you ain't gonna take care of you. Like, so I will say that is the one that even though I love the mental health, I will say I also think honestly, it's hard to choose. Okay. Okay. I'm not like you. I'm not saying they all my favorites. They sort of are. But I truly, truly appreciate the health screening conversation because I
Mhm.
think a lot of people aren't sure what they're supposed to get, what they should get. We don't know when the medical system is just trying to take our money, you know what I'm saying? But then we don't know when the government, I said all the time, the government want us sick and dumb. They do. So when they start changing standards, like, oh no, you don't have to get a mammogram that often. Oh no, you don't have to get a pap that often. All right, y'all trying to kill us or what? So I truly appreciated having the conversation about the screenings and what we should get. And then especially, look, since we've been pulling mics, these men need to stop being scared of colonoscopies. Like it's okay.
Very popular belief there is no button in there that if it's put,
Don't turn you gay.
turn you into something you are not already.
Right. That part. That part. So I truly enjoyed that one too. So y'all, I hope that from this list, like I know somebody like, oh, I need to hear that. I need to have that conversation. I need to be able to ask that question because what we're also going to do, the plan, the plan is each week after the episodes are released, the plan is to go back through the comments and then come back on that Tuesday to give even more information, right? Because one people aren't as comfortable talking to the doctor. Some people ain't got a doctor. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. You may not be able to get into your doctor as soon as possible. You may not have a relationship with your doctor where you can send them a text, but or even not just the doctor, but to the health stuff. You may not be able to have that access to other people. So we want to give y'all access to us to be able to just come get your questions answered. Now, y'all, hear me close. Hear me well. Lily, this is just advice. These are just opinions. These are not prescriptions.
Hmm.
This ain't no absolute. Don't y'all tell nobody that Dr. K or Coach K said this is what you gotta do. We're just giving you feedback from our expertise, our experiences, so that we can give y'all some help. Like real talk. This is imagine like a just confession booth for your
Hmm.
health. Huh.
I
That's
like
what
that.
it is, Doc. I never even thought about it.
Yes.
And it's unbiased, no judgment. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever feel that you have a question um, that you don't want to address publicly, you can send an email to info@toofine to die, and
Mhm.
we can address it. Because honestly, and I encourage all of y'all to do that, because I'm a firm believer. If you have that question, somebody else has the question too, right? So submit it. We'll talk about it on air so that we can provide as much help as possible. So what we need from y'all to do is to go to bit.ly/toofine to die, subscribe to the YouTube page, and then after you do that, share it out with your people and tell them to do the same thing,
Mhm.
because we need to reach as many people as possible. And in order to do that, we need your help to do that. All right. It's somebody you love that you don't want to go nowhere no time soon. You got a lot of
Mhm.
folks. Share it on out. So, Doc, what else you got for them?
Um, I'm just excited. I just really, even if one person gets something out of it that changes the trajectory of their health of their life,
Mm,
it would mean so much to me because I so badly like, we're all kind of representatives of the community to someone who is not part of the community.
mm,
And something that bothers me that so many of us are unhealthy and people not of our community see that and they stereotype the whole community
mm,
that we don't care about ourselves,
mm,
we're too dumb to know, and then it kind of propagates this narrative that we don't deserve the same things in life that other people deserve because what's the point? They don't care. They eat what they want, they shoot each other up, this, that, and the third. And I want to stunt on all the hoes. Okay. Like it is. And not just for me, because I only got 2 feet. So I can only stop on a certain amount of hoes. But if everybody can stop on the hoes as a group, as a community, like group stomping on the hoes, like I just want us to be just that dope. Like I just
mm.
like it hurts me. I'm like, you're not showing up for the community like that.
Yeah.
You know, you could do so much better
Yep.
because people who've not met someone else, you are the perception, you are the image. So
Yep.
we all should try to be someone's first impression of our community, and you want to be the best one.
Yep. I love you say stomping on all the hoes. I could only stomp on so many. Oh my gosh, but for real, y'all. It's so interesting hearing Doc say that. Y'all heard me say that over and over again. That's my personal mission, is to help at least 1 million Black and brown families change the trajectory of our family's medical histories. Because we're not predisposed for all these. We got markers, but that don't mean we gotta just accept it. Like
Mhm,
real talk. And I think in the in our communities, we will talk about everything, but we don't share health stuff. Like, I
mhm,
don't know why that's supposed to be so private and so personal and all of that stuff, but it shouldn't be. It should not be. I have 2 sons. They know even the stuff that goes on with my lady stuff. And not, to, you know, one, I have these conversations because one, we need to normalize having health conversations. But I want them to understand what I'm going through, because one, they sometimes I need some grace. So they need
mhm,
to understand what's happening. But then also, should they have children, there are things that if their children, if they have daughters, or even if they don't have daughters, they have sons, they can say, yeah, your mom, your grandmother, your great grandmother experienced these things. They need to know, like they know I had the hysterectomy. They know that I'm on hormone treatment now. So should they date somebody, whoever, friends, it's just
mhm,
about information sharing. That's why I say we're talking a lot to the women, but there are going to be men who watch these shows and they're going to be like, my wife needs to see this.
mhm,
My sister needs to hear this. This is what's going on. So we're trying, our goal was to have these conversations that are traditionally shied from.
mhm.
And let's just be real about it. Let's just be real. So, yay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Y'all, when I tell y'all this has been in the works, we recorded in July. And I got to give a shout out to my brother. He
Mm-hmm.
probably watching. I guess I'm gonna act nice and act like I love him. I always love him. I'm gonna act like I like him. But my brother, when he first heard that we wanted to do the show, he was like, "Oh, that sounds dope. I've been working at a studio. Y'all can record there." And y'all heard me say we recorded in July. He was so meticulous about this editing that but he said he would even, and my brother, look, my brother's a Marine, retired Marine, manly, rah, rah, rah. But he said himself, like sometimes he would get lost in the conversation. He forgot that he was even editing. Even the guys who we had our whole crew was all guys. They would forget what they were doing because the conversation was that real. And if
Mm-hmm.
we, like I said, I love my men. I know this ain't no shade, but if the men can get sucked into the conversation, like, man, I didn't know that, and I needed to know that. Wow, that was helpful, man. Like that's just the beginning. So I'm excited. I'm excited, y'all. So make sure y'all join us. Who gonna be there on Sunday? Let me know if you're gonna be there on Sunday. Let me know if you went over there and subscribed. Put subscribed in the chat. And again, make sure that you are sharing. And when we go live, you'll see it in the description. We'll also give you all the link to join us on Zoom afterwards. And the episode's only like 20 something minutes. So don't feel like this is like an hour long class or anything like that. The goal was to be able to give you all bite-sized information that was good. Honestly, we could have gone on each subject for hours, hours, but we wanted it to be digestible so that you can
Mm-hmm.
take it in and have your own watch parties. I want y'all to sit down and talk about it. Like, man, let's talk about what we learned and what I can adjust. So that's where I am. So any parting words, anything you want to leave the people with that?
Um, just don't miss out. Don't miss out. I just have a hint of curiosity to see what it's like. I can't promise it's for everybody, but our purpose, there's no like real personal gain for us other than to help improve our community.
Yeah.
And I'm optimistic that we are doing our part to help with the future. So, and they say, like, I forgot what I was listening to recently, but they said the best time to influence a child is 100 years before they're born.
Oh, that's deep.
You like, so the time is now. We're not just living for ourselves. We're living for our children's children, because society does not change in short amount of spans. I mean, we're talking about improving the outcomes, outlook of, people 100 years from now. But that's got to start today, and that's what I'm like. So my basement is flooded with being able to like have people to be worked on.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go to therapy. So
Wait, and I had yesterday.
I know I got to see Dr. G in an hour. So I'm about to get in my car, get some gas.
That's why I do mine virtually. I ain't got time. I'm typically going from one meeting to another. Now, what I do,
I've never met him, so I'm nervous. I've only done virtual
that's
with
right.
him,
You did tell me that.
but
Yeah.
they changed, like the law. If you get like controlled substances, you have to be seen at least once a year. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous to like. I've seen him a bunch of times, but I'm nervous. Like, I don't know, to see him like in his face. I think that's why I did my hair this morning. I was like, I don't know.
I know you lying. I know you lying, girl. I know you lying. So I gotta go in there so the doctor will be like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Doc, for taking time out of your busy schedule. The flyest, Doc, I know. Come on now. I'm just saying. So, y'all, hope to see y'all Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't pick up on it, we are so excited. Just want to share this with y'all. Share with your people. Join us on Sunday. It's Cinco de Mayo, so go ahead and bring your tequila, quesadillas, fajitas, margaritas, all the things that you're going to have, even though we celebrate Cinco de Mayo and they don't. I'm just saying. But we find any reason to eat and drink, don't we? Hence why we need this conversation. I'm just saying. So, hope to see y'all on Sunday. Share it out with your people. Subscribe. And I will see y'all next time. Thanks, Dr. K. Bye, y'all.
Bye.